Welcome to Disruptive Successor, a show for next generation leaders in family businesses and entrepreneurs who want to disrupt the status quo and take their existing business to a whole new level. We all know that what got us here isn't going to get us there. This show will provide inspiration, advice, and resources to help you create massive impact. This podcast is sponsored by myself, Jonathan Goldhill, and my company, the Goldhill Group, where we provide coaching for growing companies. I'm Jonathan Goldhill, and my purpose is simple: to guide entrepreneurial leaders in family businesses towards more freedom and fulfillment. I want entrepreneurs to get clarity around the changes that will make them and their businesses more successful so they can experience the same freedom I've enjoyed in my life. Our proven practices challenge business owners to think differently about their business and how they're running it, and quite literally become game changers in our clients' companies. Learn more at thegoldhillgroup.com website, where you can schedule your free strategy session. Hi, it's Jonathan Goldhill, and welcome back to another episode of the Disruptive Successor Show. Today marks a milestone. It's been 95 episodes that I've produced, and I haven't missed a week, and yet things are slowing down. And so I wanted to share with you some of the new developments going on here in my company at the Goldhill Group and in my life. And I'm hoping that this will help you to look at your business with a new perspective and understand where things are going here at the Disruptive Successor Show. So, like I said, 95 episodes in, it's been going strong every week. I'm finally slowing down. I think perhaps we're heading into fall. I'm no longer backlogged by 2 months on my podcast, and that's probably because I'm being more selective about who I take on the show. Actually, this is a call out to family businesses and disruptive entrepreneurs in general. I'd like to invite you to come on my show and tell your story. I think it's easy if you're a disruptive entrepreneur to talk about what you're doing because you're a natural promoter and you want to tell the world the story about your new product or service. What I find is that if you're a family business, it's really hard to come on the show and tell the story. I've had people back out at the last minute because their real intention was they had no successor and they were thinking about exiting the company, and they didn't want that to come up during the course of the conversation. And I've had other people who just felt like there was not they didn't really want to tell the story. It just was too open, and made them too vulnerable. So I think the other reason why the guests have been slowing down is because I've been traveling a lot. Since Memorial Day, I've been living in Southampton, New York, by the beautiful white sandy beaches here. And since Memorial Day, I've traveled to London, the Greek Isles, Capri, Naples in Italy, Santa Cruz, Monterey, and San Jose in the Northern California area, Los Angeles and Newport Beach, California. And I've been back and forth a couple of times, working with clients to facilitate their quarterly planning session. I've had 2 new clients that I've launched that are grossing 8 figures in revenue. One is a distributor in the packaging industry. The other is a technology manufacturer of VoIP paging products, both being run by Gen 2 leaders. And I had them and their team take part in a team day that I call a launch day. And we'll be doing 2 more days of vision building early next month. So things have been busy here. I've been traveling and enjoying life. I hope you have. I do get a sense that we're in a period where it's kind of like post-traumatic stress from COVID. It's a hangover. People are wanting to travel more, and they're maybe not as driven in their business as they used to be. That just seems to be my experience. I don't know if it's accurate. I'd love to hear from you. So speaking of these companies that I just worked with, these companies are both using a software that I recommend. It's called Traction Tools. And so I have an announcement because Traction Tools has been a sponsor of mine going on, I think, 6 or more months, and they are changing their name to Bloom Growth. Bloom Growth. No, it's not a fertilizer for the landscape industry. Traction Tools, or rather Bloom Growth, is a cloud-based software application for managing your meetings, your issues, your measurables, keeping your business plan and business team aligned around the most important activities that need to get done. And so I know you kind of maybe wonder what's in that name. I didn't choose it. Some of my clients have critiqued it for not being that great a name. One client actually said he thought it was very woke, which I still find intriguing. Many people I know from business in the Los Angeles area know me as a business coach who works with landscapers. In fact, since about 2005, I started focusing on serving the landscape community, initially in the Southern California area, and then beyond to all of California, and ultimately picking up a few clients here and there in Texas, the Midwest, Florida, and the New York metro area. And these are companies that are in landscape construction, design, build, residential, and landscape maintenance clients. And they have been my clients ever since 2005. So a good 17 years. Funny, Mike Garcia of Enviroscape in Redondo Beach, who runs a very disruptive, he's a very entrepreneurial guy. He once referred to me as the Tony Robbins to the landscape industry. He didn't know that Tony, when Tony was about 23 and I was almost 27, Tony was someone I organized the catering for at one of his firewalks in New York City. That was 1984. I brought in a raw foods caterer. Tony was all into the raw foods movement at that time. And we did this event on Thanksgiving weekend at the New Yorker Hotel, which is kind of a funny place because it's home to where Reverend Sun Young Moon performed a mass wedding ceremony of his cult followers. But I digress. So Traction Tools, which was one of the few officially licensed software for companies running on EOS, which stands for the Entrepreneurial Operating System. They had its license agreement terminated as of November 1st, 2022, and will be rebranded, they have already rebranded, as Bloom Growth. And like I said, while I'm not thrilled with the name, I love the company, I love the product. Of course, they're always working on making improvements to it. I like the move of the company as it allows coaches like me who utilize EOS and their library of books, but don't operate as an EOS franchise or licensed business because one, I don't pay them the royalties, and two, I don't operate as a pure EOS individual. And many of my tools are EOS-like and are adopted, as they did, adopted from organizations like Scaling Up and other groups like that. So those are some of the things that are going on within the podcast. And I also wanted to share some new things that are happening at the Goldhill Group. 2 new tools, growth tools that I've introduced. One was inspired by a client. They are the Goldhill Growth Checklist, which are 20 questions that you can take. You can find it almost anywhere on my website. Just go to one of the calls to action, click on it, you fill out your first name, your email address, and you'll get access to that growth checklist where you'll be able to grade yourself along the 7 Ps from my framework. Now, I haven't talked a whole lot about the 7 Ps on my show, but the 7 Ps refer to the things that will help you to scale your business. And those are purpose, people, priorities, performance, your products, your processes. So check out the Goldhill Growth Checklist. And another new tool is my 7 Ps Fillable tool. And you can find this on my website by going to my book page, which is disruptivesuccessor.com, or you can find it right through the goldhillgroup.com. Click on the link for the book. By the way, I've been offering that book to my subscribers for 99 cents on the Kindle store. You can still pick it up for quite a bargain. I only ask that you give me a great review in exchange. So the 7 Ps Fillable tool is one of my latest tools along with the Goldhill Growth Checklist. And I think these will help you to look at where do you want your business to be in 2 to 10 years, and what is the secret maybe to 10xing your company. So, hey, I want to thank you for being a listener of my show. I want to encourage you to invite guests onto my show, particularly those in the family business space and those who are disruptive entrepreneurs, because disruptive entrepreneurs have something to teach all of us. Their new way of thinking, their innovative way of approaching the market. Hopefully they've got a product or service that can scale and that we can all learn something from. So thank you. If you have any feedback for me on the show, again, if you have any guests, love to hear from you. Thanks for staying tuned. Bye for now.
This podcast is sponsored by myself, Jonathan Goldhill, and my company, the Goldhill Group, where we provide coaching for growing companies. I'm Jonathan Goldhill, and my purpose is simple: to guide entrepreneurial leaders in family businesses towards more freedom and fulfillment. I want entrepreneurs to get clarity around the changes that will make them and their businesses more successful so they can experience the same freedom I've enjoyed in my life. Our proven practices challenge business owners to think differently about their business and how they're running it, and quite literally become game changers in our clients' companies. Learn more at thegoldhillgroup.com website, where you can schedule your free strategy session.
Thank you for joining us on the Disruptive Successor podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, review, and share with a friend who would benefit from the message. If you're interested in picking up a copy of my book, Disruptive Successor, go to disruptivesuccessor.com.